Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you're not already. So I'm covering the case of Miranda Barbour today, who at age 19 confessed to at least 22 murders. She said that she stopped counting at 22 and put her body count at under 100. So before we get into how all that came about, let's get more into Miranda. I've got some CCTV footage as well of police interviews and stuff like that. And let's find out about what led up to making her give this confession. Miranda was born in 1994 in the small town of the city of North Pole in Alaska. She had quite a hard childhood growing up, and she was abused by her uncle Richard Fernandez, who actually was sent to prison for abusing her for 19 years. The grandfather of the family turned out that he'd also been doing the same thing to a lot of family members too, so it seems like she grew up living quite a hard life. She even wrote into Dr. Phil at one point to ask for help with her mother, who she claimed was an alcoholic, and she said that her mother claimed that she had cancer, but Miranda wasn't believing these claims. She said that she went to school one day and she came home and her mother said that she'd had treatment for cancer. Her mother, on the other hand, says that all the claims were true. So who really knows at the end of the day? I don't know. Only the mother really knows at the end of the day. Anyway, she had one daughter at a very young age, at 16. And she also claimed that the father of her child was one of her victims. She married Elyette Barbour in Dunn, North Carolina in 22nd of October 2013, after she had moved to Dunn, North Carolina to apparently start out a new life with her new husband. Miranda worked as a cashier in a local shop, and they lived in this small house together. Everything seemed to be going fine, and then this happened.
We responded to an incident at the rear of the 200 block of Catalyst Avenue. At this point, we have a deceased person. It is under investigation. District Attorney's Office has been notified. We've requested the assistance of the state police. The circumstances of
Troy LaFerarra's body was found in the backyard of a residential place on November the 12th in 2013, and well, it looked suspicious because he was covered in stab wounds. So the police initiated a murder investigation. Of course, they took his phone, and it turned out that he'd been on Craigslist looking for, well, women, and the last person that he called, or that called him, and it looked like they'd been in contact for a while, was, of course, Miranda. Now, Troy had only been married 3 months before this, and he was already out looking for women, but unfortunately for him, he was talking to Miranda, who turned out to be a little bit crazy. So Miranda was brought in for questioning, and, well, this was her response.
There's a guy who was murdered, and his name is Troy LaFerarra. You answered his ad on Craigslist, right?
Yes.
What did his ad say?
It implied that you would be paid to go out with this person. That's what the ad implied.
Did it say sexual? Was it sexually explicit? Or was it going to dinner? I mean, that would be spelled out in a Craigslist ad.
I mean, it was, yes, it was, but okay. I didn't go into it intending to do that.
So you were going to meet up with this guy, make a couple bucks?
Yes.
Okay. Were you on the phone with him at all, or talking to him? Or messaging him?
We were messaging back and forth, yes.
Okay.
We were just supposed to meet up at Denny's, but it never happened.
Meeting never happened?
Yes.
Being that your phone number is his last call.
So Miranda and Elyette had only been married for 3 weeks at this point, and the day before Troy's body was found was actually her husband Elyette's birthday.
That puts you pretty close.
I mean,
so we need to be able to prove that you did it or that you didn't do it. So I'm going to ask you right now a very basic, very simple question.
Okay.
That you need to answer either yes or no to.
Okay.
Were you involved in, or do you have any knowledge of the death of that guy, the death of Troy?
No.
We didn't just tonight decide, you know what, I want to go talk to Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened, and some information has come.
I understand that, but
Do you understand
my goal right now is to get back to my daughter.
Yeah. Our goal is to find the person who killed him.
Yeah.
Okay? And you're the last person on his phone.
Actually, Miranda, we gotta take your phone, put it in evidence, and then get a search warrant to go through.
That's not fair to me at all.
That's what we have to
I have
do.
the right to walk out of here with all of my belongings, which I'm going to do.
Not with your phone. We're gonna take your
I'm
phone.
very offended right now.
I'm sorry.
I
You understand?
have time. I need numbers. I need my phone numbers.
You understand we have a job to do.
I did not kill that man. I've never met that man in my life before.
I hope not.
I'm a single. I just got married. You guys are coming in my life, questioning me. I'm very offended.
I'm pretty sure that Troy would have been slightly offended as well when he was being stabbed. Like, what did you think the police were going to do? Oh, I'm sorry, you're offended. Off you go on your way. We'll drop this investigation now. I don't think that's how it works.
Do you understand why we're questioning
Do
you?
you understand why I feel the way that I feel?
No. Do you understand why
No.
we're questioning you?
I don't.
So
I never met up with
so
him.
your phone number being the last.
Yes, but I never met up with this man.
Understandable, but do you think that maybe is something we need to check into?
I want to go home to my baby who is screaming her head off for me.
We're taking your phone before you.
Don't touch me. I demand no way right now.
All right.
Don't touch me.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
No. I want.
So after taking Miranda's phone, even though she was highly offended by it, they brought in husband Elyette for questioning too.
Elyette. Is it Elyette or
It's Elyette.
Elyette?
Yes.
Okay, Barbour, correct? All right. Well, the reason we're here.
Okay.
All right. Your wife, her number is the last phone number on our victim's cell phone before he dies.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And we're trying to figure out why.
All right. You're hoping I can help?
Yep.
Okay.
What do you know?
All right. I guess full honesty here, I've never heard of him, and I don't know anything about that. But the only thing I know is that what my wife does is meet with someone who's willing to just pay you some money to have a nice conversation, sit down. Doesn't provide sex, anything other than companionship, because that's what they want. And if she was the last person he called, then that means that he was a potential client.
What is it she does?
I don't know if you've ever seen the type of movies to where someone goes to a whore, not I'm saying she's a whore, but that's a comparison. A guy goes to a whore and he's totally about to have sex with her. Then he breaks down, and then the whole scene is him crying. I hate my wife. I love my wife so much, but she's just being a bitch. And then she's just filing her nails, listening to him, and then she gets paid for the companionship, for listening, for being an open ear. And that's basically what it's about.
All right. I'm gonna let you know a little something.
Okay.
She was meeting up with our victim
When? Just period?
the night of your birthday.
Really? That's fucked up. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have a long discussion when I get home.
Should I suspect your wife?
So according to Elyette, his wife meets men from Craigslist, tells them that she's going to sleep with them, but she actually doesn't. She's just giving them her delightful conversation. But then it gets even better, because then Miranda decides that, you know what, she's just going to come in and confess to the whole thing.
So obviously there's something on your mind that you'd like to share with us.
Most definitely.
Okay. Would you like to tell me about that a little bit?
I arranged to meet up with him, and I pulled in the mall. I saw him. He got in my car. Everything seemed fine, and as soon as I put the car in park, everything just completely flipped upside down. I didn't know what to do. He just attacked me.
What was he doing to you?
One hand was on my throat. The other hand was touching me down there.
What I'm getting from what you're talking is basically he's being really aggressive, groping you.
Yes. And I do have 3 knives in my car. I usually carry one on me, and I just grabbed it.
what happened after you took the knife?
I stabbed him once and it didn't do anything. And I stabbed him again and it didn't do anything. It was still being continued. There was nothing that changed. There's just blood. Like a horror scene in my car.
So Miranda Barbour admitted to doing it. She confessed, but she claimed it was self-defense. But then husband Elyette came in and also gave his confession to the crime too.
That night, November 11, 2013, it's your birthday. It was my birthday. Okay. Did you have a good birthday? Yes, I did. As fucked up as it is. Yeah. This guy was not looking for just companionship. He was looking for sex. She misleadingly sold him sex through texts. But that was never the intention. The whole intention was to go. Now, yes, I knew she was going to meet him. Yes, I was with her. Yes, I did take part. I'm in the back seat, covered up by a blanket. And she's in the front. He gets in the car. I'm probably around 8. So I pop up with that. What y'all found on your body? That was me. Where do you have that cable at? Just right around his body? Or around the throat? Okay. Okay. Yeah, good. It was pretty good. The same. In between the headpiece and the bottom was where I tried to angle it up underneath it. I put my feet up against the back and pulled it as hard as I could. She said she stabbed him in the groin. I think she said she stabbed him in the leg, and the majority was to the chest. She did say she stabbed him in the neck, and it went through. And I leaned forward, and she's blood everywhere. And she's like, "Oh my God, there's blood everywhere. I don't know what to do." Something you just wanted to do, and you guys decided to do, and you did it together. Yeah. Nothing more to it. That's the answer to why as well. So you just decided you're gonna go? We just decided that we were gonna go tonight. We had no reason, no anything else other than that. Okay. Alright, I'll step out real quick. Alright. Okay, come back with each one. You're the one who comes back. I'm coming back. I'm the only one coming back. I want this. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Cool.
They were both then arrested and charged, and they kind of gave more information on what happened. She'd arranged to meet him on Craigslist. It was her husband Elyette's birthday. The husband Elyette hid in the back seat of the car, while Troy and Miranda were in the front of the car. And when Miranda gave a code word, which was to the moon and the stars, something like that, then Elyette jumped up from behind the car seat, and, well, they killed him. Now, this was all done on Elyette's birthday too. So, like, his wife of only 3 weeks says to him, "Oh, guess what we're going to go do today?" And he's like, "I don't know, what will we do? Go to a nice restaurant, go to a concert?" Miranda says, "No, we're going to go do this." Like, that's a little bit crazy. Anyway, after the killing, they went off, had something to eat, and then they went to a strip club. And neither of them seemed bothered by it. So 2 months into her prison sentence, Miranda Barbour decides that she has another confession to make. She doesn't want to make it to the local police or to anyone in the prison, so she decides to contact a journalist, and she makes the confession that she has killed at least 22 people. She said she stopped counting at 22, but her body count stands at under 100. She claims to have been in a satanic cult since the age of 12, a claim which was upheld by her mother and father, and saying that she does have the swastika tattoo on her neck. But her father also said that the claims of murder are not true, and that she's the most manipulative person he's ever known. But the local police obviously couldn't rule it out and had to investigate. Now, she gave details of these murders all over the country and all different places that she'd visited. Her father said that when she went to some of these places, he was with her all the time, so these things couldn't have happened. But the father does claim that one of the murders that she claimed could be true, which was one of a shooting from when she was younger, from a gang that she was involved in. So that's one of the only ones that could have been true. So all the police from the different areas where she claimed to have body counts, they all investigated. They couldn't find anything to substantiate her claims. They claimed that she was a fantasist and deluded. Her husband also had the same kind of mental illness as well. He was suffered from schizophrenia and delusions, I think it was. And Miranda Barbour had taken drugs since a very young age. She'd been on heroin from about the age of 12 or 13. So police kind of put it down to delusions. She was obsessed with a video game called Dark Souls, and many people believe that this is where her delusions of murder and all these body counts all over the country actually came from. Now, her husband always believed everything that she said. If they'd never met, would any of this happen? Would Troy have had to die? Like, did they set each other off? It seems like she was the main player in this, that she was the ringleader. It went to trial. They both pleaded not guilty, and they were both found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison, where they remain to this day. Now, do you think it was just all delusions, or do you think that any of it could have actually happened? I personally think that it's just all delusions with her. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you all later. Bye.